Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the news at 10:20. Right. I will do it in this in my calm and select mannered voice. Welcome to another exciting episode of Mick waffling on again. Right. The news today, it isn't good. It isn't good. But there may be a ray of sunshine at the end of the rainbow, they might say, at the end of it. Right, so I'm going to rattle on quite quickly and tell you what's gone off. The High Court in London has made a judgment about the idea about sending people to Rwanda. And they have, again, said there is nothing wrong with the British government sending people to Rwanda. As long as each case is sort of like looked at, there isn't a problem with sending them over to there to assess whether they need assistance or not. Whether they're illegal migrants or legal migrants, they can be sorted out there. And an hour later, it's unbelievable, an hour later, the judge actually said that the 8 people that were going to be flown out, their cases have to be looked at a little bit more before we fly them out. So you're thinking, oh, so that's more money. So we've spent 150 odd million already. Now we're going to spend some more. So Cherry Blair and Tony Blair will be over the moon. I'm going to start naming people because their companies that they operate with look after migrants as lawyers. So the humanitarian lawyers. So they're making money left from the British government. Well, not the British government, the British taxpayer hand over foot. Thank you very much for nothing. Right. In other things, there is as you probably gathered now, most of the mainstream news things have had to not take any notice now of government stuff, and are sort of like trying to cover their own backsides, and they're going out there and showing people sleeping rough on the streets. And they're saying, oh, well, these people are sleeping on the streets, but these people who've come across by boat are in that big posh hotel over there. And it's now getting sort of like, now mainstream are picking up that this is the biggest thing that's going to happen. And they need to actually get on side with the public, or it'll be like the old, well, pretty much, I think most people understand this as well. It's getting close on, you remember the old poll tax riots, and police were struggling to control those. You can imagine that on a massive scale. That's actually what some people are predicting, and I'm thinking, this is Britain. First of all, this shouldn't be happening anyway. I mean, we should not be in the thing saying, oh, there might be trouble at Mill, but it looks like there probably will be. Now, thing is, a lot of these people are taxpayers. So now we've got all these strikes going off at the moment. Every man and his dog is striking. And it's got all the way through Christmas that these strikes are going to continue. Now, first of all, don't think for a second that I'm having to go at the strikers, because I'm absolutely not. I am absolutely behind the strikers 100%. Like everybody else, it may be that the big companies are trying to still back the government as much as they can, because they pay them the wage, pay them backhanders left, right and centre. But all the small units like me, we're all saying, yeah, we're behind the strikes. Me personally, as I've told you many times, the NHS is responsible for saving my life. So from that side, I'm fully behind you. No problem whatsoever. The posties, I've got friends who are posties. Same again. Nearly. I've got mates who work on the railways, so pretty much all of those people, I know what they've been through. So, and to be quite honest, like I said, when's the last time you saw an MP holding a dying person's hand, or doing heart surgery or something like that? Even the doctors are supporting the nurses. Yes, the doctors are on good money, but even they are saying, these people are working harder than us in some extremes, and we're fully behind them. So this the myth that some companies are saying that the public are not behind the strikers is absolutely wrong. They couldn't be so far wrong. And again, more than that, other things that I've said about the Tory party looking like a total annihilation. The last thing was, if they had a vote tomorrow, only 68 Tories would be left in government. That's a massacre. So, and there may not even be 10 left in government the way it's going. They may vote the whole lot of them out because of the sheer contempt that the people are having for them. Remember, it's everyone's nieces, nephews, cousins, aunties, grandmas, granddads, dads, mums. A lot of people are starting to starve. Another 4 weeks of this, people are going to start dropping through hypothermia and diseases that we've got rid of because you're not going to have the nutrients in your body of a good diet anymore. Even I'm looking, for those who know me, they know I'm a very proud person. But I've been going to the food bank, and there's no choice. I have to do that. So, but still, if somebody came to my door and they wanted something to eat, I would not begrudge them anything in my home. So I live in a small flat, but and people know me. I've fed people. Oh, the list is endless of things. I've had about 15 people in total over the years live with me when they've fallen on hard times. I've every Christmas pretty much I've cooked for the people who either haven't got family to go to or are singles or whatever. I've cooked for them to make sure they get Christmas dinner. So I am again this year, so I make sure that everyone's all right. And it was a big thing. You can probably tell I'm getting a bit choked. It was a big thing for me to actually go to a food bank. But when I went there, the people were lovely. I'm not joking you. They couldn't do enough. They were really nice people. So if you're running short of food in the house, I know that it's a big thing, and you have to sort of like swallow your pride on this one. But they don't make you feel like you're scrounging or anything like that. Please go to the food bank. Make sure the kids are fed, and that you feed yourself. Another thing I've got a quick one is I'm just going to show you this quickly for those who are trying to save money. I'm showing you this. I've had this a lot of years. It's not something I bought. I have two of them. I used to go camping a long time ago, and I used to put them in my tent. I was with reenactment tents, they were quite large, so I'd put them in the tent and they warm the tent up. Now I've been using these, so I have my heating on for an hour, and then I'll put these things on. That way there's no naked light around anywhere to catch fire to anything. They're very safe. The one I've got in there in a moment, I'll take it out, is a 2-burner. And that goes in there. It's Wild Jasmine, that one. I think that was £3 from Asda. So that just takes the little bit of damp out. I've only got a small flat, so it takes the damp out the air when I turn the heating off, because I can't afford to get cold, because then I'll start getting cramps all over my body with diabetes. I'll get cramps all over my body and everything. So I don't want anything like that happening. So those take that niche off, and I've got my little woolly pulleys on in my bed as well. I've even looked in the bathroom, because that's just my smallest room and it's warmest room. And I'm thinking, can I put a little bed in there to keep warm? Do you know what I mean? So lots of things that help with that. A good food. I'm going to give you a good food one tonight. A good food idea as well. A cheap meal for everybody that's really nice, or I like it anyway, is actually mash. I use mash. Now, if you use mash, you don't have to boil potatoes or anything like that. It actually works out. It's cheaper to do that with the electric now. So I use the mash because, remember, I'm using the hot water. So I have my coffee, and then I use whatever's left in the hot water, I put into the flasks. So I can use the flask water to make this mashed potato with. So I'm not reboiling or anything. I'm saving a couple of bob there. And then I can use a tin of corned beef, which is cool on its own, and then nuke some baked beans, bang it on a plate. Lovely filling meal. It really is nice. I suppose I'm old-fashioned, so I'm used to bland meals or whatever. Get some brown sauce on it and all. Deli sauce, that'll sort that out. Right. So that's a nice meal for you. For those who watch and go, ooh, I'll have that now. That sounds lovely. Ooh, champion. Right. There's been an allegation down in, as you probably know, that the European Parliament in Brussels, there's been mass arrests there. They've found 600,000 in cash, in bags and all sorts. It looks like a lot of people are going to be in trouble there because they say the investigation has been going on months. So the police are going to be arresting everybody. They're going to be doing some time there. And it could be the end of Europe on that one. So I did say that. And now other mainstream things are saying the same sort of thing, that it could be the end of it. Right. Anyway, so there's that. And then over here, obviously, we've got the Baroness Moan. She's been investigated for like 20 million frittered away from PPI. And then I did hear at one point, I don't know if I'm not exactly sure about this, but there was an allegation that her husband was doing something else, was 60 million on something else. So I don't know about that one, but we'll have to wait and see what the police investigation is at. Pretty much they've made most of it, so we know. I think the thing is that we're expecting her to be de-baronessed or whatever they do, take the title away from her. Minimum to do that one. I mean, it's quite funny. If you wanted to be a baron in medieval times, you had to fight in battles and everything like that. This lady didn't. She sold bras. So, yeah, and she became a baroness for selling bras. Right, okay. I don't know what to make of that one. So, how times have changed. Right. Anyway, they've been alleged. And then somebody said that there's been an indirect allegation that the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak's father-in-law, has massive shares in petroleum companies. In which case, does that not seem like insider trading, since we know that they're going to make 140 billion profit? And for every pound in tax, they get 90 pence back. So we need to stop that as well. So here's my great Christmas idea for everybody. And give it a like if you like this idea. Subscribe as well. See if we can get up to 10. Right. Okay. The great thing I want you to like for my idea is that all MPs from all parties to resign by Christmas. The whole lot of them need got rid of. Right. And they whinge on about the House of Lords, but in this case, let's get rid of the Commons. And we will re-vote them back in after Christmas. But let's get rid of the lot of them. That way the police can freely investigate those who are corrupt and those who aren't corrupt. Yeah, those who are corrupt, I expect to be given good sentences. Because you're not going to get support off anybody else now. There's nobody out there. Pretty much the entire country is on strike. We're up to 10 point something inflation. They wanted to give us wage drops, not increases. It's frightening times. So that's all I can say. But the easiest way to get rid of them is if all the MPs, please listen, pass it on to the MPs, resign. You can be, or if you're a member, a paid up member of the Conservative or the Labour Party, withdraw your vote. Withdraw your membership. Without your money, they can't do all these things that they are doing. Right? So there you go. Yeah, that's my idea for Christmas. Make it a nice Christmas. We want all the MPs to resign. And the ministers, the whole lot of them. Get rid of the lot of them. Go and work somewhere else where you have to pay tax, not steal ours. All right. Night, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Ta-ta.